So let's just get straight into it. Our speaker, our lovely speaker, is already here with us, and we already know today we are covering an interesting topic. Networking is a love language, building authentic connections in tech and beyond. Like our post said today, we've been in places where maybe you met somebody on, in a conference, and then you just save the name with woman I met at AI event or something like that. So those are the things we want to address. How do you build strategic relationships in your career? So our speaker today is a true powerhouse in the corporate and tech ecosystem. She's a seasoned program manager with over 11 years of high-level experience at Stanbic IBTC, where she has led complex projects and teams to success. Beyond her corporate title, she's a recognized Scrum and Agile expert who specializes in building frameworks that actually work. She doesn't just manage tasks, she engineers efficiency. And tonight she's here to show us how to take those same principles of strategy, structure, and agility and apply them to the most important assets we have, which is our relationships. So please join me in welcoming the woman who is going to teach us the science behind the love language of networking, Mrs. Temitope Akirele. Please let's put our hands together for her.
Hi, everybody. I'm excited to be here. Thank you for having me. I hope we'll be able to get one or two from what I have to share. So I'll just go right into it because I know it's a timed event and I know everybody has to get to their various day. So I'll be talking about networking is a love language. And thank you so much, everyone, for the very nice introduction. Like I'm hearing all these things and I'm wondering, is that me? Okay, thank you. I'll take everything. So today we'll be talking, there's some questions that I want us to be able to answer based on this presentation. How do I build the right professional support system? How do I build a strategic, genuine relationship beyond surface networking for career growth? How do I promote gender-specific empowerment, fostering emotional well-being and career success? So I'm going to ask, please, Ebon, can you see my screen?
Yes.
Okay, just want to be sure. Yeah, so love language, that's the question everybody asks. Okay, what is love language? Is a way an individual prefers to receive and express love in a relationship. People like to receive love or express love by giving gifts, by quality time, by act of service, different ways that people like express their love languages. And what is networking? It's a process of building and maintaining a relationship. Then the question is, okay, how is networking a love language? I don't understand. But basically, maybe we'll be able to put the pieces together of the puzzle together in this presentation. So simply, networking is building community, is forming a supportive relationship, is creating opportunities together. That's the simple explanation or definition of what networking is. However, why is networking a love language? Networking can be transactional, but good networking is building on the same psychological ingredient as a love language, right? People want to feel valued, they want to feel seen, they want to feel supported, they want to feel present, right? And that is what good networking does. That is what good networking does when we are trying to actually have something that is meaningful. So networking, why is it a love language? You have genuine connection, you care by providing value. Affirmation in build, it's also very important in building the right network, valuing what people do. When you give some form of compliment based on what they have done, people feel connected when you give words of affirmation. Networking, good networking, but it builds trust and belonging. It builds a sense of belonging. Like you feel that you are in something that is very, very important. That is why networking is a love language. So why does it matter? Importance of support system. Building genuine professional support system, it helps women overcome systemic challenges, and thrive in their career. So a lot of times we find ourselves in a professional environment where we are just by ourselves. We live in silos, we go to work, go back home. You don't feel any connection in the office. You don't feel any connection in your place of work. You could even be in a community that you serve. You don't feel a sense of belonging, especially if you don't have people that you can fall back on, people that can be support system to you, people in your sisterhood, right? Um, that is why networking matters. Another benefit of network is the supportive network provides encouragement, mentorship, advocacy, people speaking for you where you can't speak for yourself. It boosts job satisfaction and it also reduces burnout. For example, find yourself in a work environment where you're just by yourself. You get tired. That's why people just resign and you ask why did they leave? They don't even have an answer. A lot of times it's not even about the salary we get on a daily basis. It is actually about finding satisfaction in what you're doing and having the right people around you contribute to your job satisfaction wherever you find yourself. Why networking matters is it helps to overcome barriers that are very important, like making sure that you cross those barriers, you overcome those barriers. Without networking, you might not be able to cross those barriers, right? A lot of times we find ourselves in an environment where we are underrepresented. We have pressure in our roles, right? We are trying to create effective support system, but we are unable to because those people are not in your network, right? For example, let's look at a family. A family, you have the father, the mother, the sibling together. It's easy for you to build connection because you're closely knitted. But where you don't have any form of connection, right? It's very, very difficult for you to build a network with those people, although they are around you. So networking is very good. It helps you to overcome barriers. Why networking also matters is strategic and authentic support, right? Support system could be strategic for career goals and authentic to foster emotional resilience and growth. Without the right network, you might not be able to have this, right? You have a plan on what you want to achieve in the next 3, 4, or 5 years, and you need the right network to actually get you there. So today, the roadmap, what we're going to really talk briefly about will be building connection skills, strategic support system, interactive action plan. How do I get myself from where I am now to where I want to be, like creating some form of gap analysis and putting in place things that will make you get to that desired goal that you want to accomplish. What are the network concepts? So this slide, when it comes to mind, when we talk about transactional network, it's what comes to mind for me is basically looking at you going into the bank, you going to withdraw cash, and of course, you have to sign a document to be able to get that money out. After you get what you need, that's the end. That's a transaction. You don't need to build any form of connection after that transaction. You don't need to you don't need to come back to continue that transaction because it's already ended. It's just like you going to the store and you're trying to buy something. Transaction is like exchange of goods and services, and that is so. After that transaction, that's the end. We have to be wary about transactional networking. So I'm just going to talk briefly on that. What are the characteristics of transactional networking? They involve quick and surface level conversation, focus on short-term goals rather than deep connection. Transaction network can be just exchanging cards, business cards that you don't intend to go back to after that meeting. That's transactional networking because there is no intention to go back to it. Limitation of women in networking. Transactional networking often feels unfulfilling for women, especially in male-dominated field, due to lack of trust and support. So a lot of women, ladies, we find ourselves in transactional network, right? Because when it comes to a field where we have a lot of men and you are the only women there, it's very difficult to build trust and support because of gender gender differences. So that's another limitation of transactional networking. The impact on relationship building. Relying on transactional interactions fails to build trust or meaningful professional relationship needed for long-term success because everybody just sees it as it's just a transaction. It's just a transaction. It means that I don't need to have any form of professional connection with this person after this transaction, after this project. That's the end of it all. Why do we need authentic connection? Moving beyond transactional norm involves prioritizing authenticity, trust, and long-term alliance building in networking. So we need to build the right alliance. We need to build the right network to have some form of authentic connection. The next thing I'm going to talk about is how do we define genuine alliance? Right? How do we define the right people that we need at every point in time? How do we define the right ecosystem that we want to build? How do we define the people that we need to be with in terms of our career, in terms of getting us from where we are to where we want to be? Foundation of genuine alliance is built on trust, shared value, empathy, mutual support. Genuine alliance form organically over time. Like I said, for transactional network, it doesn't nothing builds. It's just for that particular transaction in time, and that's the end. But genuine alliance is something you build over time. Even trust is built over time. And that is why in defining the genuine alliance, we need to know what value we have and what value the other individual they were trying to connect with. The value has to be the same for us to even build trust. The value has to be the same for there to be some form of mutual or symbiotic relationship, a relationship that we gain from each other. Depth of over breadth. Genuine alliance prioritizes meaningful, smaller network instead of a large superficial connection. Where I'm not saying that large network is not good, but a lot of times smaller network is more effective than larger network. We have larger networks so that we have more people that we can get from, especially within your ecosystem. If you don't have the things that you need, you don't have the value, you don't have the right resource within your smaller network. That's why the larger network is good. But a lot of times, smaller network is effective when you have every resource that you need within that network. Authenticity and vulnerability. Authenticity fosters bonding by encouraging openness among about challenges without polishing narrative. Excuse me. What do I mean by that? With genuine alliance, you're open to each other, right? You are not covering up, you're not trying to look for somebody that will make you feel good. You're looking for somebody that will be able to tell you the way it is, the person that will be very objective, the person that will be able to talk to you about your challenges and what you need to do to get better. They're not trying to sweet talk you in any way, but they are trying to ensure that you're doing the right thing. They're trying to help you through those challenges and help you to overcome them. A lot of times when we are in a network that we are not vulnerable with each other, that we can't tell ourselves the truth, a lot of times those kind of networks, they are like a virus, they're like cancer, because at the end of it, you're not getting better, you're just becoming worse, right? And you're asking yourself, why did I find myself in this space? Professional and emotional benefit. Genuine alliance provides career opportunities, insights, encouragement, and emotional affirmation. Right? So career opportunities in terms of if opportunities come up, If there's a project that they think it can be of use to you, it can be of benefit to you, with the right alliance, you are the first person that comes to their mind. The expertise is the first thing that they want to engage with. They give you the right genuine alliance gives you the right insight. They encourages you, right? They ensure that they tell you what you need to do, even when you are falling behind. They ensure that they encourage you through that process, and they are not bringing you down. A lot of times we find people in our network that the only thing they do is that they talk you down, right? From where you are is already at the lowest point. But when you have people in your corner, in your network that cannot help you through that process and get you to stand up from where you are, you're in the wrong alliance. So the next thing we talk about is how women build alliance generally. So as women, we are very curious. So we build alliance by rapport. If I'm able to make the right rapport, build the right rapport with somebody, I'm open. I'm able to ask questions freely. I don't hold back. I'm able to ask the questions I need. I'm able to ask questions that I'm not going to get an open-ended, a close-ended answer. I'm going to get an open-ended answer. That way, I'm able to get everything I need because a rapport has been built, the right connection has been built. Asking about people's journey and motivation fosters richer conversation and stronger connection. When you meet somebody that you intend to build a network with, you are asking questions like, "Oh, what is your story? How did you move from this level to the level you're currently in? Where what was your journey like?" This kind of simple questions helps you to build the right rapport. Authentic story sharing personal challenges and lessons encourages vulnerability and deeper professional bond. Building alliance based on shared value ensures genuine interest and mutual respect. Regular small interactions like check-in, resource sharing, nurtures and strengthens relationship. So consistency in touch point helps women build alliance. When you're able to check in with each other, you're able to share the right resources, helps you to build and strengthen the relationship that you're trying to build or what you have already. What are the right communication strategies? Articulating your personal value, being able to clearly express your work, being able to tell the where you need support, being able to identify your unique strength confidently without apology. A lot of times we women we don't we are confident in what we do, but a lot of times we don't represent ourselves very well. And that is why addressing societal conditioning that leads women to underestimate or modestly present their accomplishment. This is actually an issue that we all have as women. We do a lot already as women, as ladies. However, when we find ourselves in a place we are supposed to talk about our accomplishment, we talk about it in a modest way. We are trying to not to, I don't want to blow my trumpet. That's what a lot of people say, right? But that is not what men do. Men, they brag about what they do. They brag about it so much that you'll be wondering, is this the same thing I think he's talking about? That's the difference between us. And I think we need to get to the point that we are able to talk about what we do confidently without any form of apology, present our accomplishment in a way that we are proud of, that even if we find ourselves in a place, our accomplishment speaks better for us even before we open our mouth. Building support network. Use their communication as a bridge to connect with mentors, sponsors, and collaborators for impactful relationship. Prepare personal statement and practice self-advocacy language to enhance clarity and confidence in professional setting. Communication skills is very, very important for us as women. Generally, we should be able to have a personal statement that actually talks about what we do, what we have done, what we have achieved, even our goals. We should be able to have that available at every point in time. A lot of times, we need to practice self advocacy for ourselves, language for ourselves, right? Be how do I present myself if I find myself in this network? What do I say? What are the things I need to say that will make people want to connect with me as an individual? So we need to tailor our connection to the right audience. Mentor communication is different from sponsor engagement. Your peer collaboration is different from mentee support. So when you're talking to your mentor, you talk about the benefits from clear, thoughtful questions, regular updates on progress to foster growth and guidance. For sponsor engagement, you require confident communication that require that signals readiness for new opportunities and leadership role. A lot of times, sponsors they want to know if you're ready for the next level. Peer collaboration is the way you interact with your peers, your colleagues, friends. They respond positively to collaborative, transparent, and exchanges that build trust and teamwork. For mentee support, mentee needs guidance, they need encouragement, they need constructive feedback to develop skill and confidence. A lot of times we solicit for mentors, but we don't want to be mentors ourselves. It works best if you have a mentor and you have somebody you are also giving into, so that you're not just taking, you need to be a mentor to be able to give onto other people as well. The right support system structure. So you need to define the professional support system. A professional support system is, I'm just going to talk through because I know I'm past my time already, but very, very fast. A professional support system is an interconnected ecosystem for diverse relationships, aiding career and personal growth. There are multiple support roles that we have in a professional setting. Strong system includes guidance, advocacy, accountability, inspiration, and emotional grounding from multiple people. Sustainable and evolving network. They evolve through career phase, reduce burnout risk, and adapt to changing goals for sustainability. Strategic relationship building. Supporting is Building a support system means cultivating a balanced strategic network beyond just accumulating contacts. 5 key support roles. You have mentors, you have sponsors, you have peers, you have mentees, and you have emotional support that provides stability. Mentors will provide you wisdom, sponsors will advocate advancement, your peers collaborate and they learn. Your mentee, they foster growth, the emotional support, they provide stability. How do you map your support gaps? You identify the support roles, evaluate what you currently have now, and you look for and identify where you need additional help. Evaluating your network, right, involves you looking at the people that you have. What are the people in my ecosystem? Who are the people that I have network with? Are they the people that are draining or uplifting me? In evaluating what you currently have helps you to identify the red flags, the people you need to take out from your network, the people that you need to retain. Strengthening relationship, focus on strengthening or redefining relationship to align with evolving personal and professional goal. Empowering proactive networks, shift from passive networking to proactive ecosystem building for career longevity and work-life harmony. Then finally, action plan. How do we go from here? What do we do? Right? I would start by saying we need to identify at least 3 people in our ecosystem that we need to deepen relationship with guided reflection. This helps to clarify personal priorities, strengths, and identify unspoken needs. So identify your area of need, how and where you need them to fit into. This helps women identify key relationship, area of growth to personalize their next step. Introspections. Doing this fosters clarity of priority. It uncovers trends and reviews unspoken needs. Building strategic support. It helps to create support system aligned with our personal values and our professional aspiration. Basically, doing this exercise helps you to know who the exact people that you actually need right now and fitting them into the right areas where you need them to fit to, because you can't put a a round peg in a square hole. It's not possible. It's not going to fit. So you need to ensure that the people you have currently fit the need that you have. Other action plans that we need to do. We need to attend meaningful events, participate in events, community, start networking, build relationship, reach out to mentors, contact mentors or support that you already have to gain guidance and support for growth. So a lot of us have people that are already mentors, right? That we see them as mentors. How often do we check in? How often do we reach out? How often do we actually ask questions? We need to reconnect dormant relationship. Some inactive contact that we have, we need to revive them, strengthen them, make them valuable. Then support women in your circle. This promotes uplifting and supporting one woman to foster a strong support network. Then finally, the key takeaway, authentic relationship building is important. We have to be confident in our communication, diverse support system. Know the areas that you need people to fit in. Is it mentors you need? Is it sponsors you need? Is it peer collaboration that you require? Do you need somebody to mentor as well? Those are the support areas you need to look for. Then look for long-term relationship focus. Relationship building should be continuous, a continuous practice, nurturing sustainable professional connection. Thank you.
Round of applause for our speaker, please. Let's keep the reactions coming. That was really, really power packed. In fact, within such a short period of time, she was able to go through everything in her presentation. That's huge, maximum respect.
Thank
Okay,
you.
so we're just going to quickly, yeah, we're just going to quickly get into a little Q&A session between me and the speaker, and then we throw it open for anyone that has any question they would like to ask. So my first question, you were emphasizing on transactional relationship, and you obviously mentioned that networking shouldn't feel transactional. So
Yeah.
in high pressure corporate environments, how do we express, this love language without crossing professional boundaries? What does it look like to be caring and yet strategic?
Yeah. Thank you. Thank you for that question. I think for us as women, or I'll just say individuals generally now, in every corporate setting, people talk about professional empathy. You don't care about how I feel. You just think that you need to just give me this task to do. You don't even think, you're not thinking of where my head is at this point in time. Showing care, right? Respect and thoughtfulness is very important in maintaining boundaries in an organization or generally, right? So a lot of times we have to learn how to express this care in a very safe way, right? People, you have to understand people's communication style. Some people don't want you to call them. Some people don't want you to email. Even when they want you to call them, they don't want you to call them at specific time, right? 8 to 5 is a normal working hours, or 9 to 5, depending on the organization that you work in. When you start calling somebody at 10 p.m., what do you want? You've already crossed that professional boundary, right? It also starts when you started making personal demands that is not professional. That's where you cross the boundary. Affirmation, words of affirmation is good, but how do you use them? Right? Speak to words that meet people's emotion in a professional way. Right? Say things like, "Oh, I appreciate your contribution to this project." It's work specific, right? Sharing resource without price tag. I want to share an information with you. Don't put a price to it. When you put a price to it, you've already crossed professional boundary, right? Stepping in when a colleague is overwhelmed with permission, right? Some of us, you just want to help. I'm a very kind person. I want to help. How about if the person doesn't want you to help at that time? I have a friend that always said, read the room every time. Just to read the room. Don't just think that it's okay to do it because you think you want to care. And our care has to be very strategic, right? It has to be very strategic. Don't sacrifice well-being because you're caring. Don't replace professional judgment with emotions. Don't cross personal lines. Don't create dependencies. That's the best way we can actually care without crossing professional boundaries.
Thank you so much. That was very insightful. So, as a follow up, I would actually know because there was something I noted in your slides. You had some in a, should I say, dark gold color. It felt like, okay, this is the next phase. The one when I was able to pick up on it was at actions. So I could tell you were, carrying a bit of your program management and agile into this discussion, which is very beautiful. So I would just like to ask, is there a specific framework or system you recommend for tracking these relationships we are trying to build? How do we make sure that we are able to maintain that relationship and not just mistakenly forget? Because I saw a post someone made one time and she was like, even in her diary, she writes it down like, okay, check on your friends. Do we all need to set up systems like that?
Honestly, we need to set up systems. There's too much we're doing, and there's as women, there's too much we're doing. We have too much responsibilities that we forget some very important stuff, right? So I would say that for what works best is to be able to document. I'm an advocate of documenting everything so that you don't forget. We are not computers. Computers even get tired. They shut down, right? So with everything we do, yeah, we need to have something. So I'm going to separate this into two aspects, right? For a non-technical person, I would say use Excel. Use Excel. What do you need to put in that Excel? Have the names of the people, have their contacts, have their email address, have a column for your last discussion, have a date you're supposed to follow up, have a task you want to put in. You can also use Google Space. You can use Asana. These are simple things for somebody that is not very technical, and you don't need to do some form of automation. Trello for somebody that is you are not technical but you like visuals. I like visuals, right? So I love Trello a lot because going into Trello, it just shows me the things I need to do. I'll just drag and drop, right? So it's very easy for somebody that is not technical. But for technical people, you can use things like Airtable, you can use Notion, you can use Slack. And for Airtable is you don't need to write code for a technical person. You just need to write code. It works like a Google Sheet, right? For somebody that like, oh, I'm not technical, but I want to try something technical. Airtable is your answer because you don't need to write code. It has some form of automation. For Slack, some technical people they build their reminder using something like bot remind me. So that's the interesting thing about somebody that is techie, right? So the bot will remind you to send you pings and all of this stuff. I don't want to go into so many technical things because Not everybody is technical here, but those are the things you can do. Use, of course. Non-technical person use Excel, easy, Trello, visual. For a technical person, use Airtable, use Notion, use Slack.
Thank you so much. I think that's a reality that many of us don't want to face, that we actually have to keep track of these things. Okay, so to my next question. So there's a lot of confusion between a mentor and a sponsor, like I think this discussion started in recent times where people were trying to like put a main difference and tell us, okay, sponsor is actually different from a mentor. So can you just walk us through the specific language or approach needed to turn a casual mentor into an active sponsor who advocates for us in rooms that we aren't in?
Okay, so thank you. I before now I used to get confused about it as well. So those people are also in my shoes before now. So it's okay. So mentors give advice. They guide you, right? That's what they're supposed to do. But sponsors, we have a lot of mentors that are potential sponsors, right? What sponsor do is that they influence, they help you speak where you can't speak for yourself, right? They advocate for you. They they are people that will go to a room and say that, oh, I have somebody that can do this project. I have somebody that will actually fit this job. Those are sponsors. But a lot of times we leave our mentors, our potential sponsors in the mentor space and we just let them remain there, right? I would say that our mentors are low hanging fruit for sponsorship. However, how do we move them from the mentor's role to sponsorship role? That is by asking. You have to ask, right? A lot of people will say that I don't want to pry. What if she doesn't even want sponsorship? Why am I trying to do this thing? She has not even had. A lot of sponsors, they want to see that you are hungry for it. They want to see that you're ready. They want to see that you have clear goals. And what do you do as an individual to ensure that you put yourself in that light? You have to be able to deliver results. You have to show accountability. You have to show that you are reliable. You have to show that you are somebody that is dependable. You have to show that you have goals and aspiration. You have to show that you can make them look good. I mean, you can make your sponsors look good. If they feel that you can't make them look good, nobody will speak for you, right? And it has to be from your initial relationship, which is usually from mentor-mentee relationship, right? So, and at times you might need to act for those things yourself. You might need to. Some sponsors want to know how you want them to speak about you in a room. They want to know, do you just want me to give out your business card? Do you want me to give out your contact? They want to know the extent at which you want them to speak for you. So you need to be sure of what you want and you need to be able to present it. And you need to show that you are actually ready for the next level. You have to show that that is what you're hungry for at that point in time.
Wow, that was a lot actually, and I can see it playing out in real life. Nobody wants to look bad.
Yeah.
Okay, so my next question: many of our women in tech and women in tech generally, we have a lot of events, and almost every month there's somewhere you can go to if you want to go to. So at some point, this constant networking can be draining. So how can we build relationship capital sustainably in a way that protects our energy and doesn't lead to burnout?
Hmm. So I would say that a lot of women are introverts. Maybe I'll start by that. A lot of women are introverts. Some are also extroverts. But I think I'm an introvert, so it's easy for me to use that example, right? How does burnt out start? What causes it? Is social exhaustion. When you're exhausted, that's how you get burnt out. So a lot of times, the best way to go about it, what I do, is I identify I look for opportunities, identify it, and see how I can tap into those opportunities without really putting myself out there, right? Because putting myself out there is like, it can be a lot. The attention can be a lot. But as an introvert, what I do generally is I identify those specific areas where those people need me to fit into, right? At times I can just say, oh, when you need help, I'm always here. I know someone that always says that I'm here when you need me. That makes them know that, oh, okay, you are available at every point in time. Like, you, yes, I might not be saying anything, but I'm just here. Reach out. I'll be available and all of that. So network asynchronously. You can network by maybe commenting on somebody's posts, by putting a LinkedIn comment, by sending thoughtful emails. You don't necessarily need to go out, all out. Those little things means a lot to a lot of people, but we don't know. Sharing your article, building a network to Telegram that you can have control over. Because when we get burnt out is when we don't have control over what we have built, right? It's just too much. And you're thinking, oh God, this is too much. I didn't envisage this. I didn't think it was going to get this big, right? So it's better when you can do things that you have control over. And when you're smiling, and have control over. So yeah, another thing is have advanced preparation. As an introvert, before I before when everyone reached out to me for this presentation, I had to prepare. Some people might not have to, right? But I have to because I know that that's how I work better. Introverts, a lot of times, when you are prepared mentally, you don't burn out easily. But when you are not mentally prepared, you have that burnt out. Some people don't like to be on the spotlight at a point. They need to prepare for that spotlight. So you have to identify where you fit in. Oh, am I a spotlight person? When I'm told I can just deliver, or I'm not. I just need to go back and prepare before I just come back, right? You just have to know. So also you might need to maybe attend in your preparedness as well when you want to attend some form of network session, workshop, roundtable discussion or conversation. Have questions that you have prepared before that session. Know what you want to ask. Know the best approach to use so that when you get there, it doesn't feel like you know that you want to ask those questions, right? But because you have not prepared in advance, you get there and you're telling yourself that, oh my God, and I wanted to ask this question. I wanted to ask this question. You'll be telling yourself, I want to ask this question until the end of that workshop. Until you get up, you're still telling yourself, oh, I wanted to ask this question because you didn't prepare in advance. You have to prepare in advance. Then I think the maybe second to the last thing I would say is that create visibility, right? Yourself. You can avoid social exhaustion yourself by just preparing short posts. Share your insight on LinkedIn. Volunteer for small community development. Lead documentation. A lot of times that works better for introverts as well. Lead documentation, share knowledge. Those kind of things works better. And lastly, I always say recharge. Some people don't want to do that. Even women, we don't think we need to recharge. We need to decompress before an event, decompress before the event. After the event, decompress. Make up your mind that after I'm done with this, I'm going to, if you need to sleep, if you need to go to the spa, if you need to go watch a movie, find something that you know you can use to decompress and ensure you do schedule and ensure you do it. Thank you.
Thank you so much. That was very beautiful and relatable. I could relate on all counts, especially the one about, you're at an event and you'll be like, I want to ask a question, but you didn't prepare, and then you are so, nervous, you cannot get up, your voice is shaking. Okay, so at this point, we're going to throw it open for everyone. If you have a question, points in case, actually, if you have a question and you would like to ask, now is the time. So just raise up your hand and then you can unmute and you can speak. Anybody? Questions? Okay, since we don't have any question, oh, we have one from Olola. Okay, you can go ahead and speak.
Hi, good evening. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can. Good evening.
Okay, good evening. Thank you so much, Temitope, for such an educative session. I learned a lot. My question would be from like a personal experience. I'll say that I am a recent graduate, sort of like an early career professional. And when I network with people, or when I network with people that are more experienced in my field or are just way ahead of me, and most times we get into conversations and maybe the relationship goes on like that. I sort of feel like I don't have, because I believe that's supposed to be like a two-way street, value on both ends, and I believe that I've benefited from some of these relationships in the past, and I'm always usually very confused on how I can also support or like provide value to them at the other end, right? I know that in the past I've like bought gifts, I've sent like, so I usually I'm just always confused on, oh, what's like the right way, because I believe that some of them actually do great stuff for me because they take out time to like speak to me, take out time to engage me, answer my questions. But I believe I don't know, maybe they can imposter syndrome or something, but I always usually believe that whatever I'm giving is not like commensurate to what they give to me. So I just want to know like your opinion, how you believe, like, because they are way more experienced, they're obviously richer than me, they are more exposed, like you're not just on the same level. So I just usually, so they believe that okay, this person is also an important person. As much as you are giving it to or pointing it to them, they are also valuable enough to do same. Something like that. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you, Amalala. So I would say that what you can do is since you're a recent graduate, based on what you had said, you might need to do a lot of research, right? Because you want to be able to actually give back, but you don't have that experience. One step to go is to do a lot of research in their area of interest, so that when you are even having conversation, you're having conversation from a place of knowledge. Does that make sense? You're having conversation from a place of knowledge. You do research. Know the new thing they're doing right now, right? Is a person starting a company? Are they starting a project? Are they starting a new product or something? Then you go back and research. That's the way you can actually support and give back. You understand? That's one approach. Another approach is ask questions. Ask other people that have done something similar, or ask other, I don't know if whoever your mentor is, you have one or two people that the person is mentoring. Have engagements with them, use your peer collaboration and see what you can do to actually maybe support. A lot of times mentors don't really look at, especially if you're just starting, they don't really look at, oh, this person needs to be able to give back right now. But it puts you in good light when it shows that you're trying and you're doing something. You're doing something, you're giving updates, you're giving feedback, something of their interest, you're able to say something about it. Like, oh, okay, you even read that, you read my post, you read my project, or you know what I'm into. Like, that shows that you care about what they are doing. That's a way you can actually you can have some form of fulfillment or satisfaction that you're also giving back.
Thank you so much.
Mm.
Okay, do we have any more questions? Anything you would like to ask to shed more light? I actually have one more question. Do you even want me to use my one more question, or you want to ask your question now? All right, I'll go ahead and ask my question. Okay, so when you were speaking, I think initially you were talking about, oh, you have to be retrospective and you have to watch how people speak to you. Like, you don't build alliances and people are trying to bring that negative energy, right? And I think that is one of the things, misconception people actually have about women supporting women. There's some people that believe that it's not possible. So what I would like to ask actually is, how do you audit your professional circle, even your close circle, really? How do you audit it? How do you see that from a place of empathy, and also empathy to yourself as well, because of what you need? How do you audit to know that, okay, this relationship is good for me and this isn't?
Yeah, thank you, Eva. I can relate to that as well. So, how do you audit? Right? Look at the people that are around your ecosystem. If you achieved something, read their body language. Are these the people that downplay your achievement? Are these the people that say that, oh, what did you just do? It's not a big deal. I can do better. You don't need those kind of people in your ecosystem, because they are not supporting your advancement. They will not celebrate you anywhere. So first thing first, just cross them out. I won't even say put them in the maybe. Cross them out. You don't need this kind of people. If you have people that, oh, in your ecosystem, you achieved something, they say, oh, well done, good job, but I think you could have done this better. Those are the people you want to have in your yes. So I have a yes, I have a no, I have a maybe. The yes, people that will support you, people that would encourage you, people that will give you areas of improvement, not in a derogative, in a way that would make you feel bad, right? Some people will tell you, oh, no, that's horrible. You don't need those people in your circle. But people that will give you objective feedback that will not affect your emotions. Because a lot of people, we know how to wash down on people's success. We know how to make people feel very small. Anybody that makes you feel very small, you don't want the person in your circle. Anybody that you always have to explain your actions to, even if the action is positive, the person thinks that, oh, there's something this person is looking for in that action. You don't need those kind of people in your circle. So that's what I do. For a lot of times, I don't even have maybe, because that maybe is already tilting towards no. Because why do I need a maybe? So I just do yes and no. So it's either you're here or you're there. It's either you're a support system or you're somebody that will bring me down. So that's what I do. I just identify those people in my area of success. What did they do? And in those areas that I failed, what's their reaction? Is their reaction good for you? Those people, they are in no. Right? When you fail, you need people that will pull you up. You need people that will encourage you. Those people are the yeses. So you have people that will say, that will help you to grow, people that will challenge you in a good way. Right? I hope I answered your question.
Yes, you did. Thank you so much. So we have come to the end of today's session, and honestly, my biggest take back is you need systems. You need systems in place to actually manage your network. So to Mrs. Temitope, thank you so much for being generous with your time, for sharing these actually actionable frameworks with us. We don't take it for granted at all. So to all of us, the members of the network already, and if you're just new joining us, please let's not let this conversation end here. I think going forward, we can be very intentional with how we manage our network and relationships. So for the recording, we're going to be posting it on YouTube and sharing the links with us on our WhatsApp group chat. If you are not a member of HERdacity yet, you can join on HERdacity.com. That's our website, HERdacity.com, or you can just search for us on LinkedIn or Instagram. Our websites are in those places. So yeah, thank you so much. Thank you everyone for showing up. Have a fantastic evening. Bye.